Shalom to you, like giving all praise and honor glory to you. How about Shemel Shai, by Shemel Production, giving double honor to the elder apostles, and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Well, peace and salutation again to the first fruit elect, starting with the prophets of the 144,000 count, and the rest of the remnant of the 1/3, made over the children that are believers in the words of how about Shemel Shai, by Shemel Production. Shemel Mafman is a Mafman from the Great Millstone Plaintables camp of Philadelphia, coming again with some will be breaking news coverage. And it says that the U.S. attacked Venezuela tonight. This particular off Agenda Free TV was posted 6 hours ago. Captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and flown him out of the country. Explosions have been seen and heard in Caracas and multiple other parts of Venezuela. The Venezuelan government released a statement blaming the U.S. for the attack and an interactive live stream. Okay, so we'll see, what this reports off of maybe various news sources and fair use warning declared. We'll try to get this news out as best we can. As we know, we're in a time of prophecy and many things going on. It's currently January the 3rd, 2026. January the 3rd, 2026. All right.
I don't think that much huge happened since I've been gone. I was keeping up a bit. But let me show you a couple things. Yeah, about the Maduro indictment amount. Maduro had already been indicted in 2020. So I know it's a little confusing. I don't know if his wife was indicted in 2020. Maybe she was indicted in 2020 as well.
We'll click off Al Jazeera.
Let's go to Shihab Ratansi. Shihab, what are we hearing now from the U.S. president?
Explosive Truth Social post from Donald J. Trump. I shall read it out. The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Sammy?
Shihab, that is quite a statement. I want to make sure we heard it and understood correctly. This is the U.S. president saying that U.S. forces have captured the president of Venezuela and his wife and taken them physically out the country. Is that right?
That's exactly what he has just said. The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement.
That's Maduro right there with the flag right there, and it looked like a red or pink shirt.
Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. That is the Truth Social post he posted just a minute ago.
And Venezuelans, they're Israelites. They go back to the tribe Ashar or Asher, which means happy. Okay, which I believe those tribes are in the area from Uruguay. Alright. So from in South America, from Colombia, I believe to Uruguay and such. You have to look on a map, and such is very big. You got the two, this in green, this one all the way Uruguay. All right, and more on the southern eastern coast, almost. All right. So all of these countries here, you see. I think Naphtali is like dealing with Chile and Argentina, but you can go back to your 12 tribes from that. Okay. So, we know that America did call a war on Titus. Pretty much all of this saying that these people are drug it's like I put Colombia. But yeah, that's the territory. But Venezuela, we talking about Venezuela. Give me 1 second. Okay, so you have the breaking news. Trump flexes new level of unrestrained global power. Remove left-leaning autocrat and at times violent regime. Whether fighting for drugs, they're gonna push all of that. Drug trafficking or for their oil or for regional alignment. Okay. The second Trump term promoted an end to Maduro's role as a kingpin of vast regional narco trafficking network as a key to its rationale. But they ran into a paradox when suggesting Maduro just leave power. He could not be both a kingpin and a man who could walk out of his role at a drop of a hat. Okay, so you have it. They blaming terror. They blaming that apparently this man is a drug kingpin, but we know Venezuela is a place that's rich in resources out of the earth, such as oil. Okay, the different royal dainties that will come out the earth. So you got to look at what's the underlying reasons of why they would do this attack. We do know in times past they had a guy named Juan Guaido, who he tried to be declared and backed by United States. Okay, and I believe he was trained up in Babylon, America, and they tried to have him as a interim president for Venezuela, and that was between January 23rd, 2019 to January 5th, 2023. But they had an actual president for the country was Nicolas Maduro. And we do know how they want different leaders in positions for their interests. Okay, the hammer of the earth, which is Babylon, through Esau, Edom, with their military-industrial complex. Okay, so let me just get a couple scriptures real quick, and then we'll just leave off from there and see as this story develop. Okay, you have it. This is off of Genesis chapter, or actually it might be it's either Genesis 49 or 30 or 33. Let me see something. Yeah, this is Genesis 49:20. It says, out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Okay, different mineral resources that come out of them lands and such. Okay, in that region. Okay, where those Israelites are. Because remember, our forefather being that'd be Jacob told the 12 tribes where they would be in the last days. You read that Genesis 49:1. And Yaakov or Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Okay, so Jacob is a prophet, as we do know. All right. And he gave different prophecies concerning the 12 tribes, all right, or his 12 sons, in which he had, in which they are true. Okay, you cannot deny that. All right, and it's through the spirit that the elder apostles at Great Millstone, you know, even with their elders, okay, you know, high priests, and such, came to the conclusion of who the tribes are. Okay, and it's all for the understanding for us now to, you know, come back to who we are, and not to be in the confusion, us as the hopefully elect. So you have here hammer of the earth. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the earth, let me read it again. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon or America become a desolation among the nations? Ultimately, you know, with all this war that's being waged against other nations will wage war with Babylon the Great America. All right, you have a lot of different countries, superpower, what looked at as superpowers amongst the nations, such as Russia and China, that have big interests in Venezuela. Okay. Let me ask and see something. BRICS ain't officially a part of BRICS, which BRICS deals with Brazil, Russia, India, I believe China and South Africa. Yeah. But you know, you have other nations that been of course you know, added. But it says ongoing efforts. Venezuela President Maduro remains keen on joining, highlighting its energy resources, and has met with BRICS leaders to push for its admission. You know, so, and like I said, you have Russia. They have a relationship with Russia, include cooperation between common status like as an oil exporter. Okay, Russia and Venezuela remain a close strategic partnership, particularly in defense, energy, and finance, with Russia providing military equipment, financial aid, and technical support to help Venezuela's oil sector and to keep Maduro's government in power, while also backing Caracas politically against U.S. pressure, even condemning recent U.S. actions in Venezuela as aggression. All right. You have it here. It says also that Russia in January 2026 has condemned U.S. military actions in Venezuela and calling them armed aggressions and urging restraint. Okay. Following increased U.S. pressure, including actions in the Caribbean, Russia has reaffirmed its strong support for Venezuela. All right. In essence, Russia serves as a crucial or critical international ally for Venezuela, offering military, economic, and political lifeline against extreme external pressure, particularly from the United States. And that's Esau, Edom, being a bully to one of the tribes of Israel. Okay, Jacob. And they would use the sword, okay, like how he has done to you know, harass, you know, the tribes that's there. All right, so this is Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And Esau, Edom, is that of course person that have that nation that have that sword. Adawam itself, which is red in Hebrew. Okay, they got that power. All right, that red representing Esau, Edom. They got that power, okay, and they take it peace. You see that, bombing, doing them bombings in Venezuela, all right, and wherever else they, do different military campaigns and try to take people out of power and take their sovereignty away from them and put, of course, a different leadership in play and such, and call it democracy. Okay, Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4 says, "Behold, his soul, which is Esau, which is lifted up in pride, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yet also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires hell, and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." All right. So, this man, he want it all. Okay, as he's showing, he can't be satisfied. Okay, his appetites, they can't be sated. Okay, they're gonna, just only increase. He want that was his. He's covetous. Okay, and they are the wicked. All right, so what we see here is wars and rumors of wars going down. Which only will escalate to ultimately World War III. But remember, the CHIP must be made mandatory first. Okay, this is another uproar to people too. Okay, so we'll go down. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and 9, or actually 2 and 8. It says, "Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein." So, there's different sins that have been committed by Joshua Adawam, Esau, Edom, via Donald Trump's flex of military power, being the commander-in-chief, being an emperor, Nero 47, as we tell you, he would have to be in a reincarnation. Okay, he's waging war, pointing the blame and bringing destruction. Woe to him that covetous, evil covetous to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul. Okay, and they have like I said, when you look at all of the destruction that they have done nothing but, as you have Bashath, which is shame. All right, going back to Bawash, which is go to confusion, dry, long, and shame. They've done shameful things. Okay, waging war. Okay, claiming people are this and that, and then bringing destruction, taking, stealing people, bringing them into their hands. Okay, this is all what he do, put you into servitude, make you a political prisoner. Okay, so we leave it at that for the time being. Shalom to the elect.